Are we live? Are we live? I don't think so yet.
Oh, I see live on Facebook up in the top corner.
Okay. Are we live? Are we live? Let me just double check.
Facebook? Are we live, Facebook land? Are we live?
No. It's not letting in for me.
Light language, light language.
Here we go. We're live. Woo! No, I don't want to activate it by accident. All right. So I'm going to, yeah, that's what happens. Now I'm seeing a split screen. So I'm going to click a button in Zoom. Is that better? Let me take a second to update.
I'm on my phone, so I don't know that it matters because I'm up in the corner.
Okay, well, on mine in a second it'll go. And let me tag you. So, hello, everybody.
Yeah, so it'll show up on my page, right?
Let me tag on the thing. All right, I'm gonna, I might have to do it afterwards, or I'm gonna share it to your page. And that way,
there you go.
Hopefully that will work. And everybody, hello,
right.
Welcome. I'm so excited to share today's live stream, as I am every live stream, but today, live for Jen's story, an amazing. Okay, if I could spell opportunities. I'm sharing while I'm talking, and maybe Jen should be talking while I'm sharing. No,
she's a channel, but she cannot spell.
Yay, we're side by side on the view, and that's exactly what we
Yay, that's how I like it, baby.
Yes, why is it so easy, honey?
That's right.
Tuning in, I'm Val Cripps. I'm an artist, and I'm a high-level energy guide and cosmic business coach. That's a good way to put it, right?
Yes.
And Jen is a powerful healer who has moved through so many different ways to up-level her own life experience because she had to, right? I love your story. I posted your live stream a couple days ago on my page. So if you want to hear more about where Jen was just like 2 days ago, check out that live stream. Quantum here in the Valtopia sphere. You know, you watch my streams. Every time I go live, I know at least 100 people watch. And we have a great crew.
48 hours later.
Yeah, 14 hours later. Let's talk about, I just want, we kind of came together in, I love Johanna Gardner's creative healing group. I think
yes,
that's
we did.
In last November. And I was offering the bundle sale for the Black Friday or whatever you call it. Yep. And you were like, yeah, I'm doing this. And you were doing some study, and it was amazing. You found your voice opened up to some degree. And then suddenly, like 3 weeks ago,
I'm going to say grounding really happened.
Let me stop talking.
It was grounding for me, because I remember messaging you and saying my legs, with the MS, I have like restless legs, and my legs were like so weighted, like, and relaxed, and I just had this physical grounding that happened for me. And that was like the first real experience of like, wow, I'm not fully in my body. I have not been living fully in my body, which I kind of knew, like on a logical level, because, I have trauma in my background. And so, not feeling safe and all that garbage, blah, blah, blah. So I knew it like up here, but I didn't necessarily really realize it until I had that experience doing your bundle.
Yeah, isn't it so tricky, because you think that you've done, I go out and in the grass, or I do Sebastian or whatever. It's like, no, you know what I'm talking about.
I do sound bowls, and I go to gong bath labs, and I do all that stuff.
Right. So you're laughing now because you have an understanding that maybe everybody watching doesn't have yet, unless you do.
That experience gave me a better understanding, but nothing like the understanding I have now, having the activation with you.
So share like what's happening.
Oh my God. Okay. So last night we were connected and we were moving some energy, and we had such a wild, exciting day yesterday, right? With the Healy and the go live, and, using our new frequency healing devices, which are like the bomb, by the way. We're going to be talking about that. And so by the end, like at the end of the day, like I crashed, and I crashed pretty hard. And so this morning I woke up and there was a message from you saying, how you doing, Jen? And I was like, and I sat there and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing too good. Like, I woke up this morning feeling like my chest was just completely weighted and heavy and feeling really, really tight. And it felt very stagnant in there. and stale, and it didn't feel good. And then I heard that voice in my head say, my old programmed voice go, oh, I feel depressed. And I was like, oh, well, this sucks. And I'm like, and then, so what ended up happening is we connected, and then you did what you do. You worked your magic, and I experienced the Valtopian activation, if you will call it that, right?
Yeah.
And you helped move that stuck, stagnant energy that was trapped in my chest. And it ended up melting away. And then I felt things all through my whole body. I felt the grounding. I felt, and then all of a sudden, like I felt something like was just stuck in my throat.
I feel it right
and
now.
I'm like, and before that, but after my chest expanded and opened from you connecting to me and moving things, I coughed. I had a whole bunch of coughing that happened suddenly, which is, I think, is pretty typical with people that, you know, you work with. And then it was something was in my throat. I'm like, oh, like it was stuck. And so I told you that, and you continued to work on me. And then what happened was, like,
what does it feel
literally,
like I'm working on you? Like, what does that feel like?
and
how long does it take?
I think I described, like, I felt like I was really, like, just wrapped in love. And I felt like initially when you entered, like, remember, I felt like kind of dead and stagnant and heavy in my chest. And then all of a sudden I described like feeling nervous energy, and it was like a swirling energy. And it was unsettling because everything was so dead and stagnant. And all of a sudden was this like flighty, like, and
it's like,
I think that was you.
It's like CPR. I'm like, come on, bitch, you're alive.
Right. Wake up. Yeah. And so you told me to breathe into it. And that's exactly what I did. And I took, you know, several handful long, deep breaths breathing into it. So then everything just slowly just melted and opened up, and I felt the expansion and I felt the release of it. And then I coughed. I had that coughing fit. And then the thing was stuck in my throat. And I'm laying down, and I'm still the whole time. Like I said to you, I don't even want to move. Like, I feel so grounded and relaxed. It felt so good. But I had this thing in my throat, which didn't feel good. And so you guided me through that. And what happened was, all of a sudden, it felt like my neck elongated, like just like got longer. And then my chin, like it just naturally, I was laying down, and then it just naturally tipped back. And then I felt like whatever it was, like, leave. And it opened up. And it was like, I mean, that was enough. Like, that was enough of an experience. But then the voice that came through for me was, you're not depressed, you're suppressed.
I love it.
And that just blew me wide open, like literally like 55th dimension. I was like, okay, I'm no longer the same.
Yeah.
Because I've been diagnosed depressed my whole life. And I'm not saying that I haven't had depression. I'm not saying that people don't have depression. But for me, it was like, no, sister, like, you're not depressed this morning. You're freaking suppressed, because you're not sharing from the depth of you. Like, you're not fully sharing. And that's what we talked about, was the realization I had in the activation this morning was, oh my God, like, I messaged you and I said, in my spirituality and my spiritual practices, like, I'm very quiet. Everything I do is like silent and quiet and to myself. And this morning, it was like spirit just came to me and revealed to me through this activation, like, that's what's missing. Because, like, I'm always open and I'm always receiving vibration and frequencies through external modalities. I'm in full receipt of it, but I'm not fully giving it back out. And that's where I've been stuck, and I didn't even know it.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Because it's not part of the process, is it? Some people do toning and chanting and things, but this is different, right? This is like an awareness within yourself of your own mechanism, and where you've just been totally blind to functionality. That's like, oh, no wonder I'm irritated. Like, that shit needs to be like, oh, I need to let something move through there. That's what you did this
Yeah. And I didn't know how to move it. Like I've had these stuck and heaviness and things stuck, and I felt it, but I just never knew what do I do with this? I would go work out, or I would, ignore it, or, write, journal, but it's energy, right? So what you do is magical, and it's instant, and it's transformative, and it's life-changing. Like I'm not the same person I was when I went to bed last night. Like I woke up to a new me that I didn't even see coming.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. Like I didn't see it coming.
There,
I had no idea.
This layer of restriction, as you called it, suppression.
Yes.
Didn't allow you. And I after our session, I've recorded something that let me understand more deeply what's happening. I don't know if you want to hear it right now or if you want to continue, because it's so exciting.
Whatever you want to do.
Basically, it's like we're already set with these parts of ourselves that are blocked with us, like are filled with us. And those are set, like that's our configuration. And then we have all these openings or receive, and it's a passageway. And the combination of our set configuration, our birth date and blah, blah, everything that we already are, and then these wonderful open passageways that were filled with everything that ever happened before, y'all need to clean that shit up. It needs to be fresh. Because now what's flowing through there? Now what potential co-creation are you making that you didn't even know you had that you didn't have access to, right?
Well, we're going to be talking about that.
Today, open up my awareness of what it is that's happening. Does it seem more clear to you now the way I described it? It's like,
oh my God. Like, yeah, I've been in awe of what you do. And you're a beautiful writer and you express it so beautifully. And I always use the word cosmic. I'm like, she's so freaking cosmic. Right. And I'm like, but I've always kind of felt like I could reach out to you, but you're just out of reach. Like you're that cosmic. But then now I experienced it. And I'm like, I grabbed hold. I'm like, oh, I get it. Like now I get it.
Yeah. And I'm not out of reach. It's just that you
need
to be ready. Well,
you're not out of reach. I just didn't know how to
pull the luminous boundary around that keeps everyone.
Exactly. I didn't know how to, because I didn't fully understand. I didn't fully grasp it. And that's why it was out of reach. Not you, but it was out of reach. It was like, I was right there.
Yeah. I love you.
You were right there. I just couldn't, I didn't know how to grab onto it.
Yeah. And
I wanted to.
You're like probably a lot of people watching me that have come through, and they think they're the one that doesn't get to have it. And they don't realize
that's not true.
The reason it hasn't happened, quote unquote, is that either you aren't fully aware what is happening. That's that's 30% of it. Like you just literally need someone to go, it's like a dirty way. We need to clean it up. And then you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know. That's a huge part of it. And then it's like, you need the permission and freedom and space to play with it, because that can be very emotionally traumatizing and interesting, the recalibration. So we don't activate you and then let you go out into the world without me going,
no.
How you doing the next day?
Enjoy your picnic.
Yeah. Hope you figure that out. Yeah. Right.
No. And so when we kind of were wrapping things up, it came to me intuitively, because I feel I'm energy sensitive. I feel very deeply and I hear. And so I heard this message that I needed to go out to my creek and lay on my back and just make sound, tone, chant, whatever you want to call it. It just came to me you need to go do this. And so that's what I did. And I took myself out there. I set myself up. And again, I didn't see it coming, what happened. And I might even cry. I was laying there and I had my Healy going I set it on the throat chakra. Yeah. Right. So it was frequencies retreating my throat chakra. And I was laying on my back and I just started making these sounds, and it was toning and some chanting, and then it was some singing, and I was practicing low, high, and I was having fun with it, right? And I was so connected, the creek, the water, the energy, the water flowing by me, beautiful. And all of a sudden, it was happening before I even realized it. I literally, when I work with my clients, my crown, I'm very strong in my crown, I can feel it. It's like the door just slides across the top of my head, opens up, and everything turns cold, sometimes ice cold. Wow. And it's almost like I had a similar experience, running right through here. literally like where the third eye is. But it like spread, it expanded, like almost like it just cracked open. Like I said to you, my third eye cracked open today. And she was warm, and there was like a weight to her, like the presence was heavy, like so almost like she wanted me to know she was there, like she was there. And it's not weighted like my chest was. It's totally different. It was like a warm blanket being wrapped around you, but it was heavy and I could just feel it. It was like powerful, I guess. The weight was powerful. And it was there for probably 20 minutes. And I was one with it. And then I realized what was happening. Like I didn't realize it first. And also I was like, oh my God, I've never felt my third eye. Never felt her. I'm like, okay, I know I have one. You know, like I know I have a G spot. My G spot's there somewhere. Just got to find it. You know, so it was like I found my spiritual G spot today.
Yay!
And I experienced her, and it was cosmic. How do we say it? Cosgasmic. Like it was unbelievable. Yeah. And I couldn't. I'm in awe of what happened today. I feel so cracked open.
Well, so cracked open. I'm so grateful you have the awareness to take what's opening inside of you and then go follow your intuition and listen, and you know what I mean? Because it's a co-creation. I'll wake your ass up, but people will not listen to their own instruction or whatever. Right. So what does it feel like? Maybe somebody like you're 50, you never felt your third eye open, you've been doing all this work. What does it feel like? What can you describe to someone and then you're going to be sharing, like, what is the human result of opening your third eye? Let's talk about that for a minute. Because oh my God, right? Why do we want to open our third eye? What's the point?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I mean, I'm an extremely intuitive person, like feeling, like I have to follow, you know, and I feel it for others. So like my intuition is very strong, but now I feel like, I mean, that's what the third eye is all about, right? Is your intuition and wisdom through your intuition, right? So, and that connection. Right. Now I feel, but see, here's the thing. Okay. It just came to me. Like, it just came to me. Like what it's like is like, I've always said, like, I have this intuition inside of me. I have this powerful creator inside of me. I'm integrating with her. I feel integrated with her. I feel like we are one. Like my intuition and me, we're one now. Because now my eye, it's like she's wide open and she's like,
yeah, you don't have that layer of other that wasn't you, blinding, blocking you from your own. And
the mask came off.
Yeah.
The cover, whatever it was. Yeah.
Well, and it's like a combination of like, it's like guilt or shame or confusion or denial or distraction or whatever it is, right? And
all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you were saying that you've had cash infusions. Like what happened? I want to hear.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I come in from that experience and I'm like, I'm on cloud freaking 9. I'm just like, this is amazing. And I'm just swollen with gratitude and excitement and like this newfound clarity. And I look down and there's a text from one of my clients and she tells me that she referred me to somebody and she's going to be calling me and this is her name. And then sure enough, like 10 minutes later, the phone rings and here's this new woman. And I work with women who have trauma in their backgrounds to, you know, remove emotional energy blocks. And it's very sacred work. And so here's this woman who's extremely, you know, stuck in this trauma. So spoke with her, you know, and it was like, she's booking sessions with me. So that was enough. I was like, oh my God. Like, and then I thought like, wow, cash infusions, like her clients after an activation have cash infusions. I'm like, there's a cash infusion, right? So now I'm just like, forget cloud 9. I'm on like cloud 99 now. I'm like, this is awesome. Fuck the fear and find flow. So like, wee, right? So then I'm like doing my thing, walking around, and all of a sudden I'm like, my messenger's blowing up, and like I have 2 buyers for Healy today, 2 people that want the Healy. So they've got the links and we're in process of that now. And then I have a third. And then I've got like 5 people on deck who are looking into it. But like 2 people literally said, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Wow. So your energy shifted and you opened up, and now our team Valtopia is just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Which, let's talk about that. Like 3 weeks ago, you know, you took the plunge to get the bundle and that opened you up. And then you've been in the Valtopia sphere and I've been checking on you. And then 3 weeks ago, I was like, hey, you got to check this out. Or you asked me about it and you
I asked you about it. I was like, what is this jam?
Yeah. And now you just, since you started,
right.
Like you're talking about cash infusions and growing your business and expanding everything. And so because you're the first, Terry's the second, and we're gonna have one more.
We're looking for number 3.
We're gonna have we aren't looking. Number 3 is here, and we're connecting today with number 3. We love a foundation, and that the 3 of you are going to be my little Valtopia sphere, which, as you can see, because Terry also is the second, and she had an activation yesterday too.
She did, which was insane. I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but I got to step away because they're doing their thing.
Yeah, I was like, because Terry and
I'll let them do the thing.
Yeah, we have worked together before in a class, so we kind of knew.
And that's the beautiful gift of like being in this with you, is it's like, I mean, talk about icing on the cake. Forget about the cake. Like, let's talk about the icing, which is Val, you know, and your gift. Hello.
All of our gifts. We get
completely.
And so I want to keep that space tight, that original 3 founders. So that space is coming, is open. And then, hey, Terry's here. And then I'll open a separate chat for everybody downline, you guys, from Valtopia Sphere. So that's going to, that allows you to feel really tight with the foundation.
Beautiful.
And to extend what comes from there. So I'm thrilled to build this community.
That's amazing.
And our upline, what I all this MLM talk cracks me up, but basically the people that we reached out to us are creating this huge network of people, and you have so many resources.
It's a movement, you guys. This is like a movement of consciousness. It's an awakening, and you need, if it's calling to you, you got to jump. Like when I saw Val's whatever she posted on social media a few weeks ago about this frequency healing device, this wearable frequency healing device, my soul recognized it, because I have been, excuse me, I have personally been using frequency specific microcurrent. I've been using frequency microcurrent healing technology for 8 years, but I have to drive a half an hour to my physical therapy holistic center to receive it during my sessions there. And it's helped me from everything from chronic pain to MS issues in my body, to anxiety, depression, grief, emotional wellness. I mean, you name it, it's helped me for 8 years. So when I saw you post about it and I saw the word wearable, I said, my soul recognized, I said, okay, where do I sign up? Like, how do I get my hands on this thing? And I jumped, and I don't regret it, because I've had this, when did I get this? Friday? I want to take it off. I'm like, you guys, like, this is amazing.
Anyway, that we get all this other things happening. It's like, oh my God.
Yes. Yes. Talk about being activated. Like, if you want to activate your own energy and your own frequencies in your body and give your body what it is like craving, this is like next level healing and way to do it. And this is like a science-backed combined with spiritual energy. It's quantum, it's frequency, it's energy. We're talking Einstein and quantum physics, and the science is there. And I don't even know. I'm like, I get a loss for words talking about it, because there's nothing like it on this planet. The planet needs it. And like the Schumann, the earth, the levels are rising in the earth. Like there's a massive movement going on that's so much bigger than us. So imagining, in my live yesterday, I said, imagine if each one of us heals our frequencies and raises our vibration, what that's going to do for the planet.
Well, and imagine when we don't.
Well, yeah, we see what happens when we don't.
What happens when we don't roto-rooter our pipes of old attachments, beliefs, instructions, the tape playing that wakes you up every day and says, this is who you are. And you go,
oh, you're depressed.
Even though you're like Kundalini yoga expert, you have people that you
Kundalini yogurt
their best lives, and yet you still have this certain level of thing.
Right. Well,
right?
why do you think like so many people struggle? Like they're like, oh, law of attraction, law of attraction, law of attraction. I'm doing everything right. Why is it not happening? Like, hello. I mean, it's energy. It's all of these things that you're talking about that are like stuck in our energy body. It's stuck in our fields. It's stuck in our body physically. It's lingering. So
Well,
like go ahead.
some of it is like stuck or lingering. It's a choice to hold on to it, and we don't
Yes.
know that because we're quote unquote blind to it. And
Right.
not that we're victims. I want you to talk about this morning when you felt that heaviness, which as soon as I tuned. So let me describe how this works. I'm laying in bed. Jen's laying in bed. We text each other. She says,
I'm in New York. You're in California.
yeah, we're
3 hours apart. Right.
We've never met in person, and we've just been knowing each other virtually
We've
online.
been intimate though.
Yeah. And so we're laying in bed, we're talking, we're not even we're chatting, messenger, right? So I want to explain to you 5 days. Why am I paying that much for 5 days? 5 days of rocky fucking wow. So we're laying there in bed, talking to each other on text. And I say, she says, should we do would you like to do your shift before I start my day and do any of the healing and everything? And I said, yes, because we had started something the night before, because I was learning to understand the difference between me as a Healy and the Healy, because I'm a Healy.
Right. You're
right?
walking channel.
I deliver frequencies that, so, you said, yes, let's start. So I'm just laying there and I tune in and I say, well, it feels kind of tight. It feels tight in your chest. Yes, it feels tight. Then you began to have that aware, you sang, you toned or something. That's when you began to open.
I did. I
went blah, 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 and said a couple things. And you went, oh my God, that's this. So
I did my own chanting, toning. Yeah.
Yes. And then the words.
And I cried.
Yeah. You moved so you noticed what you felt, you recognized the emotion and the pattern, you felt the difference between your ability to observe and witness the pattern, what it felt like in your body. And then when I said these tones in light language, it's like I'm in your body and the light language happens, and it's almost like, is it like a roto-rooter a little bit, but a lovely one, like a little butterfly going in and going, we're gonna just stir it all up in here.
A roto-rooter.
Organized. It's very specific. The frequencies are divine. They come in and they go.
They do.
Instant, and you're like, oh, I feel all this vibration and everything, and then you cry, or you feel scared, or you feel something that was underneath your initial "I'm depressed," right?
Because that's just programming. That's programming.
That you can't see that you were so used to that tape recorder that your ego mind had decided to give up on even examining it.
Yeah. So I was like, well,
this one's just been there ever since forever. Let's do, oh yeah, that's normal. No. And it's like, I come in there and I go, foreign, not you, or alert. And you go, what? Oh, and then all this shit happens.
I feel nervous now in my chest.
You feel it now?
Yeah. No, then I was like, I don't know. I feel really nervous now in my chest. I felt dead before. Now I'm very nervous.
Yeah. And then from there, you took responsibility for what was getting stirred up within inside of you. You had the tools to move through. Yes. So this is why I'm also very selective in particular about who because it is instant and it does have repercussions, doesn't it? Like
it does. And I mean, you're connecting your energy to mine or whoever you're working with. So it's very sacred and it's very, I'm a big, I protect my energy. Like I'm very protective of my energy. So I get that, like to be very protective of who you choose to plug into.
Well, it's beyond, I'm not afraid or don't trust my ability to manage my energy because I do, like you see me, I do live readings for hundreds of people at a time and all these things. Not lately, but I have, and I can
right.
About it. It's more about you guys because I'll get in there and suddenly you're like, I've had the experience of people signing up for $100 product or something, and then suddenly they're going through divorce and all this stuff. And it's like, you can't get into that. Like I will come in and you will be like, oh shit, I got to do something. And then you don't have the support you need. That's why you invest in a couple, 3 weeks with me. And we can't make a lot of changes in 3 weeks, but give yourself like the backing.
Right.
You completely shift paradigms and take a look at everything you've been hiding from for pretty much your whole life. It can pack quite a punch, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And, for anyone who considers themselves light worker, healer, whatever you want to term you want to use, energy guide, boss babe, if you want to level up what you're doing with your clients and get your clients better results, which ultimately get you better results, I can't think of a better way to do it than to hook in with you.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens. I mean, I now experienced it. I've been hearing it from your clients over and over and over again. Oh my God, she activated me. And within hours, I had all these massive cash infusions, and my clients are having cash infusions because it trickles down. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. But I'm over in the stands, like cheering everybody on. Now I'm like on the field. I'm like,
yeah, why do people like think they don't, what does it take to convert? I know it's something inside of me too. Like I've shifted and now more people can feel my conversion, but for you that's been through the process, like what would you say held you back before? Like you just couldn't see it, or Terry says like a tornado.
Well, I didn't know that something like this existed before I met you. I didn't even know it was out there. I didn't know it existed. And then I was watching, and and you get into that. And this is something I've always had to work on in my life, is I'm guilty of like, the comparing. And, I've been, in the recovery world for almost 26 years sober. And one of the things that I learned is like, identify, don't compare. But sometimes, you're sitting there and you're like, wow, look at these like amazing light workers and these like really like badass boss babes and these amazing cosmic people. And when you compare, you're separating yourself, right? When you identify, you're pulling yourself in with them. And so I think that's what's coming through for me, that might have been part of it. Was like, I was just like, wow, that's really cool for them, because like they've got it.
Yeah.
Like, they're there. They're like higher than me. They're more advanced than me. They're more whatever than me. And that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, we all have it in us.
Yes. I connected to a brilliant person today, and she said, I love being with people that are more spiritually advanced. And I said, ain't nobody more spiritually advanced. We are all embodying and unlayering. Yes. Nobody's ahead of you.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
Exactly.
How much more can you be yourself? If I'm ahead of you, I'm just ahead of you in terms of knowing myself. That's it, honey. That's all it is.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I love that, because that's really the truth. The truth is the only one that you can really, the only one I can compare myself to is the me 5 minutes ago or the me yesterday, because it's all about expansion. It's all about growth. And it's just all about, I don't even know.
Deeper levels of your own remembering who the fuck you are. That's what it's about.
And what we came here to do.
Exactly. And we're here to live fully and to let the past experience of being compressed and suppressed into a container that's not, and it's so amazing that you just said that about like, I felt like I wasn't the one. That post that I posted today from a year ago, it said, don't think you're the one who doesn't get to have it, and you're the one who doesn't, know
I did read that.
I've invested thousands of dollars and gone and played with the big millionaire fun lady with their fancy handbags and bottom shoes, whatever. Not that I'm into that, but I really invested intuitively in the energy, and I love those leaders. They had the balls to get out there when we were still laying at home following our husband's orders. These bitches were out there. I was like, that's me. That's what I want to feel free to do. So the trail. And now it's like, it's not outside of you. That's just what you see.
It's not.
Else is just inspiration of what lies inside of you. That's all.
Exactly. And I do want to say, like, I spent over 3 years investing thousands upon thousands of dollars on learning strategy, business strategy. And I lived in misery and frustration because this was missing, because I'm different. I'm energy sensitive. I'm, our empaths, like we're just a certain type. And I was lacking this. Right. Yeah. And so when I surrendered,
flavor in it, right?
Right. And I was trying to be something that I'm not, because I was still hiding from my truth. And I finally came out of the closet last October, and I thought I was quitting and giving up on my dream. And then again, that voice came through that said, you're surrendering. And it was like, I had this 2-year-old, beautiful little 2-year-old girl tugging at my pant leg going, and she represented my truth. And she's going, I'm over here, tugging. I'm over here. Come here, look, I'm over here. And I'm going, no, sorry, I'm over here. I'll get to you. I'm over here. And I did that for 3 freaking years trying to build a business. it didn't work. And I
Yeah.
was miserable. And as soon as I surrendered and I let go and I chose to step out of resistance and I chose to step out of trying to force something that wasn't me, and I stepped into the energy of allowing for 2020, quantum leaps in my life, including you and this right here,
Yep.
my healing practice, like, that's it.
Yeah. And that what that is you cutting ties with other people's judgments, decisions, methods, and letting
What they think.
letting yourself find your own way. And the strategy that you studied doesn't hurt. You need to learn that stuff. But I did the same thing. I invested all this money for funnels and business. But what I did do was always invest in both the spiritual guide, energy and spiritual, and business.
Yes.
Because when I would work with the spiritual business coaches, they were spiritual business coaches. They weren't even all the way super, some of them, but they had that grounded presence. But that felt like not enough to me. Because my situation, I was like, I gotta figure this out. I gotta get out of here, and I'm gonna be successful on the other side. And I was just like throwing everything at it. And so I was like, I'm a business coach too. And so I think that's a big thing that happens in this work too, that you're experiencing, even though you're just coming into one-to-one with me, is that you get to have what you want, and you do know what you're doing. And you do get to make money, and it is for the benefit of you and your clients. It's ideal that there was a part of you thought it was too lofty or can't really happen, and you get to know your money capacity. You get to raise it. You change the story, right?
Yes. And I want to say, like, I used to think I was like, oh, I'm afraid of failure, or I'm afraid of success, or I'm afraid of like being judged, what people are going to think. Now that's all true. I'm not gonna say it's not true, but those are my sub fears. My real fear, I was afraid of my own power. I knew how effing powerful I am inside. And that's the divine. I'm not the human me, but the divine. I'm powerful, and I was aware of it. I knew it was there. And that's who was tugging on my pant leg. Was like, I'm over here, girl. Like, let's go. We got to do this. We came here for a reason. Yes. What are you doing? Why are you over there? And so surrendering allowed me to there's my word. That's my word for 2020. Allow. That's the energy I'm in.
That's why you're in the Utopia sphere. It's all about allowing.
Right. So it allowed me to take on my power and say, this is me. This is who I am. And this is what I bring to the table. And I've had people question my prices. And I've stood my ground because, you know what? I didn't shrink down. I didn't shrink back down. I didn't shy away from it because I'm upright. I'm like, I know my worth. I know the results my clients get. You know the results your clients get. It's undeniable. And I'm here to say it. It's undeniable what you do. And so anybody sitting on the fence going, God, I would love to experience that. Just jump, just do it. Just trust it. Don't listen to that voice in your head saying like, oh, I can't, or whatever it's telling you. That's what you told me when I was like with the Healy. You were like, don't let yourself talk yourself out of it. I was like, you're right. Let's go. You know, like, I had to follow the gut, that intuition, the power in me was guiding me.
Yeah. And then just
follow
it's momentum, and it just builds and builds. And your brain starts to realize, oh, okay, she's got this. And then what's happening is having a more cohesive union and experience of who you are now. And that's what I
absolutely
in my live stream, the split energy. See, we talk about all these things, but until you actually experience it, it kind of sounds like blah, blah. Yeah, Val's on there. It's good for her. She runs on the beach. She's got money, but I don't.
No.
Whatever stuff you're telling yourself.
Whatever story you're making up in your head.
Or picked on or abused. Right? No, yes, I have. I've had it all. I've had all the bullshit.
Yeah, me too.
Just like you. So,
right?
Yeah,
that's why I've been suppressed. Like, I've been suppressed because of all that garbage in my past. But it's not who I am, and it's not part of me anymore. And I am fully integrating, and I'm fully, becoming the union like you just talked about inside of myself. And it's my third eye cracked open this morning. Like, hello. I'm 50 years old. That never happened. Never.
I love it. Well, and I would love to see what comes from, these expansions. Like Keisha, good morning, Keisha. I love you. We've been working together one-to-one and tight since December. And she was in the like sphere with the color.
Oh, yeah, the intensive. Yeah.
2 months before. and opening the third eye and the heart and all of this. Let's just give an example of what happens. 2 days ago, her client broke through to 7 figures.
Yes.
That's what happened. Her clients are activated, and she's coming up with all of her own modalities, meaning letting herself have fun and let her life be the guide of her own beautiful universe that she is, you know? So this healing, Keisha wants to know about the healing, and everybody watching too.
Yes.
And why is it exciting? What is the deal? And so we know because of frequency, but even before yesterday, we didn't quite know, like, you know, we were putting all of our own preconceptions of what it's going to be.
Right.
And when I started using it yesterday in our Telegram chat, I was thinking that I had to connect in with the frequency and transmit me with the frequency, which is why everybody got activated yesterday, which is why, Keisha, I left you alone, my client. And we're using the Valtopia team to practice and see what's happening.
Yes.
I knew that if we're working this closely, we all need to get up to speed together. So that was part of it too.
Actually, yeah. And we got to practice and get to know our Heelys, you know?
Exactly. So we played with, like, and Terry, who's on the stream, is extreme. Both of you are highly attuned and sensitive to understanding. Ooh, I feel the healing. Now I feel you, Val. Now I feel Val with the healing. And we tried it all out, and so
crazy.
Yeah. Like, do you want to let me let you tell about it too? Because I love the way you describe it.
What do you want me to describe? Like, the Healy itself, what it does?
Yeah, and like how you're, like, for somebody that's watching, that is, most of people watching me and interested understand energy to some
energy and frequency. Okay.
They don't know what's going on with the frequency, the Healy yet. They're not quite sure what it is.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just saying before that I have been using microcurrent frequency therapy, healing therapy for 8 years, and it's a big machine at my holistic center I go to. And they're like $20,000, $30,000 for these machines. And so when I saw you talking about this, I said, a wearable one? Are you kidding me? What's up with this? So I knew I had to have it. So I've been using it now. It showed up on Friday. And basically, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's everything for our spiritual wellness. It's everything for our physical wellness, healing, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. And so you hook yourself up. We have these wristbands. So the electrodes go, you have to, like, when I go to the holistic center, I hold on to them with washcloths, one in each hand. So this is wristband. So we have this clip to us or in our pocket, and we can set it to a frequency setting, and we can go about our business and be receiving treatment, like, at any time, doing anything while you're sleeping. I know I saw Leah earlier saying that there's like a recommended amount to do each day. She's having a hard time sticking to it because she wants to use it all the time.
Me too.
But I mean, yeah. So do you want me to talk about the Healy specifically, like the packages, or like, what do you want to?
If you guys are watching and you have any questions, even if you're watching the playback, please put them in the comments, or just go ahead and private message me, and Jen. And listen, like, the reason this is so exciting is I've dedicated, like, you and I have dedicated thousands of dollars and hours to understanding our own vibration and energy. And look at you, you spent 3 years and you invested in these things and all this stuff. But now suddenly it's like a whole nother level of access to just your life, right? And your own awareness of things you already knew, but it was like, oh, that's why. So with that in mind, like, it's for me to illuminate you and have you feel those frequencies and everything, it took me hours and hours of experience, and also just my natural gift to get to that place. And I get it, and I try to explain it every day on these live streams. And it's like, my coach, I had one of my favorite coaches, I love her to death, but she would always say, Barney it down. I'm like, because people don't understand. And I'm like, why don't you people understand? Because for me, and maybe for you too, intuitively, it just makes sense, and the other way doesn't. Like, the other stuff doesn't make sense, but for people, I don't know.
And I get what she's saying, because like some of your stuff I'll read it. Some of your stuff I'll be reading it, I'll be like, okay, I get this, but I kind of don't. It's kind of over my head, but I get it. Like intuitively, I get it. I may not know exactly everything that she's specifically saying, because like some of it's like, whoa, because you are so cosmic. But I get it. Like you still are speaking my language. I just don't know all the words yet, or I don't, you know what I mean? Like it's
so
crazy.
Keisha was asking about the Healy opening your third eye. The Healy didn't open the third eye. The reason Jen's third eye open is because she got activated by the light language with me, Keisha.
Correct.
You
yeah, the Healy did not open my third eye. We cannot make that claim. No, it was not the Healy.
I mean,
I didn't even have it set to that. I had it set to my throat. It was set to my throat chakra because I went out to the creek to do toning for myself for the, like real seriously, like in a grounded spiritual way for the first time. I went out and I let it out. The sound came out while I had the throat chakra setting on my Healy after your activation. So I was activated by you ultimately first.
And the Healy is what's allowing you to, like yesterday with my session with, that's okay, Keisha. Yesterday with Terry, what we could see is, first I came in with these on and I transmitted my transmission frequencies that I do with my collective, divine collective, whatever. And that was a lot. And then we brought it down to, I completely disengaged all of my energy and the Healy vibration. And Nicole's asking what it feels like. She said it was just like, it's very intense when I come in there and it's just like modulated light. You can turn it up when you're using the resonance. You can crank it up and it will actually buzz. But like I've been running the whole time we've been on the live stream and I don't feel it, but those of us that are highly energy
experience it,
feel the vibration of something running and it feels good. If you're reading the comments and if you're highly tuned, you can feel, oh, it's on my heart chakra. Oh, it's on my throat chakra. Oh, my third eye. So it's like, and so as you do the reading, you'll see, oh, my throat got better, but now my third eye needs a little love. So then you go around, which is basically what you're doing when you're meditating, when you're praying, when you're setting intentions, when you're writing. But for those of us who've had a lot of trauma or PTSD or disconnection from our body and our soul, we might spend a lifetime just trying to get a taste of the awareness that I can connect you to, and this thing can connect you to. That's why. A dear friend of mine said a couple of days, I was telling him about it, and his reaction was, well, you shouldn't get dependent on that. We should be in this plane. Okay, that's a whole nother thing, because most people in this live stream don't think like that. But that's like, my first reaction was similar. I was like, oh, hell no. I learned this for myself and I don't want to do it outside of myself. You know, I want to, what if I'm dependent? What if? There's a lot of what ifs of fear that can come up around this. But I'm telling you, why would you not choose to immerse and know your own level as rapidly as possible? Even if this got cut off tomorrow, I'm already ahead. Right? Even if my Healy got cut off tomorrow for whatever reason and I was back to my own meditation practice, I'm already more deeply embodied. Fuck yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. That one is
absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you getting attacked?
Yeah. And there's like a, I don't know, there's a bug flying around. Yeah. And so like the package that both you and I got, the resonance,
the highest level,
is what is ultimately magical, because the resonance has the other cool thing about this that no other microcurrent device has on this planet is it has a quantum sensor. And so with our resonance, there's a quantum sensor that actually, it scans us. Like we literally, I'm telling you, like I couldn't believe it when it showed the fingerprint, and I was like, what? I'm supposed to put my fingerprint on my screen of my phone? And it scans you and it runs a scan on your body. And then it spits back feedback with a report in order of priority, what your body needs right now, this second, this minute, this moment. And then you could do it again in 10 minutes and it could be totally different. It could still be the same. But with the reports, you get written report, you can get some charts, and then it will also give you the frequencies. And then you can choose to activate and run the frequencies for that report to treat your body's needs.
Yeah. And everything's related. And so that the way it's going around your whole biofield and everything is why you have this rapidly elevating energy level and momentum of experience in your life. because you're so deeply, more and more deeply in your beingness, your heart's pumping and sending out connection to other people who are at that level of awareness instead of the half dead people where the level you were before. I'm not just kidding, but you know what I mean? Like we mirror, connect to where we are. And I know myself, I've made all this money and done all this work, and I've come up in the last 2 weeks with this and the crown thing I was talking about yesterday in the private chat. There was a level of me I just couldn't see and be. And I have invested in a healer, I posted about it, Stacy, to come in and go, ooh, it's all gunky and you're like stuck in one part of your brain. Like brain damage, PTSD and trauma will get you stuck in a certain way and you spend your whole life. Why can't I get to that? Why can't I get to that? And somebody like me goes, or Stacy goes, thank you. And then you have to keep like recalibrating to who you really are. Not that moment or moments where life went and choked you in a place and you're still walking.
Right. I call that the loop. You're stuck. You're stuck in the loop. You're just looping around. And then that's where the self-sabotage comes into play. And it's just this loop. And it's coded and it's programmed. And you come in and it's like you just shatter the loop. You disrupt the loop.
I disrupt the loop and let you see it. You can see wherever you want, but
you can go back and continue your loop, or you can look at it and you can say, and you could tune into your own intuition and move forward with what you need to do to stay out of the loop and make it stop for good.
Yes.
You can get off that escalator ride if you want to.
Yeah. Yep.
You can lead them to the escalator, but they got to ride it.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And this tool, the beauty of this tool is letting you be your own master healer and learn. You will learn what makes you feel good when you feel good. And that's why people improve in the work with me, because imagine, like I've had same things with Keisha where she wakes in a certain state of mind and then I bring it into her awareness and then she's like, oh, I was ready to just settle into that because it just felt normal.
Yeah.
And so because
it is normal.
It has been your normal.
But now a new normal's in town.
Exactly, the new normal. And now what happens as you stay in the vortex, the Valtopia and raise, what happens is what you were used to before comes in. It's jarring. And you're like, nah.
No, don't got time for you.
And it's just like, you don't even have to tell somebody your boundaries. Your energy just goes, and they go.
They bounce off of you.
Or they, whatever, they come in as
Don't you feel like Wonder Woman?
And that's what the Healy does for you.
Don't you feel like Wonder Woman? It's like, pew, pew, pew. No, but in all seriousness, you guys, like this little tiny device, this little like 2x2 device is like, you're holding your spirituality, your physical wellness, your mental and emotional wellness, your body's health and healing. You're holding your own healing in your hand, like literally. It puts your take your power back with one of these. We are so far off, like the grid is so skewed right now with healthcare, but we're not even going to go there. Take your power back, because I lived that module for many, many years, and I lived 7 years homebound and disabled, and it was horrible. And until I woke up one day and said, you know what, this is bullshit. I'm not meant for this. I am going to heal. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. Had I had this, my healing that took over 10 years could have taken maybe 1 year.
Me.
Because I was so sick. Or if you had you and this.
You probably needed a lot of that frequency and shift before you would have been able to come in and deal with another person.
I couldn't come into you. I mean, when I think about myself back then, we're going back like, 15, 20 years. There's no way. I mean, we don't even want to talk about that. Like, that's just doesn't even exist anymore. But yeah, like but seriously, if I had this, this would have brought my body back. But I brought my body back because I had the power in me to do it. I just had to recognize it, and I had to make what I have coined the term, and part of my coaching that I do is the power of decision. And it's an experience of embodying. It's not just, I'm going to choose this. It's not that. It's not surface. It's very, very deep. The power of decision.
It is everything. And the decision to jump in with this it's not to take away from you learning and embodying
No.
deeper levels of awareness for yourself. It's just going to accelerate the process. So wow.
Yes, absolutely. It's another tool, and it's a powerful tool, and it's a safe tool.
Yeah, it's all positive vibrations.
There's no side effects. Like there's no side effects because everything's energy, everything's frequency, everything's vibration. Here you go. Here is all the frequencies you need on a silver platter to treat your body, to bring it, to recalibrate and rebalance it any moment that you need.
And the thing is that really needs to be said here is whether you're conscious of your vibrational contribution at this depth and level or not, you still creating. You're still creating. You're still, like we say, oh, it's so powerful when you know you're still creating if you're unconscious. You're just unconsciously in allegiance to a bunch of shit you didn't decide to do with your life. Own your frequency. You're the miracle. You decide what this flesh and this mind and this womb and this yoni and this energy is here to do. You were born to be alive and born to be you. And as we said this morning on the stream to you, your pathway is meant to bring through the divine frequency that as it's shaped by your life and your being, and that gets to be a joyful, blissful process. And if it's not, that's that program that we get to clean the tubes and so we have a great
and I've you
Okay.
activated a new level of self-expression for me this morning, because I've struggled with my voice and finding my voice and letting it out, but this is more than letting my voice out. This is like rising from the depths, and like, because I didn't realize until that aha this morning, like, wow, spiritually I'm quiet. Spiritually I'm still holding back. I'm not giving, I'm receiving, I'm taking, but there's not a fair energy exchange. I'm not putting back out what I meant to put back out. Right? What I'm here to do.
And that's why you feel
withholding, and I'm suppressing my gift. Right? I'm suppressing my magic and my gifts on a spiritual level. So now that I know that, now that you've activated me, because this is what you do, I mean, it's limitless.
Yeah.
I feel limitless right now.
I love it. And that is what people say. It's like, I feel like I could do anything. And of course,
infinite.
When you get into the space, your human mind will try to shrink you back down. And that's why you're in the Baltopia sphere with me. And I'll be like, oh, we need to go in and do a little recalibration. And you have the Healy and everything. So that's a beautiful process.
Absolutely.
So we have the space for one more team leader in the trio of the foundational members of the Baltopia team. And then it's going to be, all the downline will be benefiting from the Baltopia stream and the Leah stream and the Maria stream. All the magic.
Absolutely.
And there's a USA promo because this company is in the very beginning stages of growth and expansion. There's $1,000 coupon off this $2,500 model, which is the top model. And some people are like, oh, that's a lot. It is not a lot. $1,500 right now. People get paid back after you sell 3 to shift your whole dynamic in life.
I've already made almost my money back. So
yeah, me too.
After today, I probably will have made my money back. So
yeah. So if you're a healer, an energy guide, a light worker, a messenger, an oracle, a human design,
whatever.
A person who supports deeper embodiment and cosmic business, where we're integrating our natural creative gifts and grounded money making, let's change the world presence, then this tool is for you, and this opportunity to grow and be supported in ways you didn't even know you could be are happening right now. So don't miss out. Private message me about the Healy. And if you want to activate and awaken your third eye and blow your shit up with me in the best way possible and really come to a whole new level of awareness, then you want to go to baltopia.com and fill out the application, and I'll get to you.
Do it.
Yay. Do you have any? And Jen, share with us who can work with you, because I know people are going to be watching that have had your story and would rather go through and work with you than come in to work with me yet, right? They'll come in when after they like connect, or maybe they never want to connect with me, and they like, that's
this is crazy chick.
Well, we're all meant to plug in, and we're not all aligned to connect to each other. And I love that. That's the comparison thing is so ridiculous, because it's like you just
can't compare.
you just either meant to come
we
in.
complement, you know, and that's what this is all about. Like, we're all one anyways.
Yep. Yep.
We're all one. We're all connected.
Yep.
So, you know, for me, my gift is I'm an empath. I feel very deeply, intuitively, extremely intuitive. I hear and I feel things, and I'm really, really, it's been a natural gift for me my whole life. Like, people end up like, I remember one time I was out to dinner and my father-in-law, this guy walked by and he started telling me all his problems and his like stuff. And then he left, and my father-in-law looked at me and goes, what do you have, counselor written across your forehead? Like, my energy just like, you know, I can help you. And so I ended up, when I stepped into my truth and came out of the closet, like, I'm an energy guide and I work with women, and I clear emotional energy blocks for women who are really ready to liberate themselves out of that trauma, PTSD, self-sabotage loop. So then they will fully integrate into their bodies and their lives. And that's basically, in a nutshell, what I do. And it's powerful, and it's very, very sacred. And my clients have extraordinary results, much like yours. They're forever changed. So that's pretty much what I do. I'm in love with what I do. I'm in my purpose and in my calling. And I can't even imagine now that my third eye is cracked open and I've had this realization for myself, and I'm just going to start toning that how that's going to trickle down for my clients moving forward.
That is huge, because I know Keisha's been instant healing with her clients too, since she's allowed everything to just flow.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait to act. That's why I want more people to come in quick. So it's like, imagine how rapidly each of us are just, that's what I do. And then your people just come to you and they get it from you. Because see, now people that like you and love your energy and are drawn to you, they don't need to come to me. You've been active. You will light their shit up just like I did for you. Their shit.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's what we're meant to do.
Yeah, I was setting them free before, and I can't even imagine what it's going to be like now moving forward, now that I've been activated. So
so people would just go to your page and click on her name, and I'm sure.
Yeah, they can just private message me.
Find out. It's like, didn't you see all my shit lined up all good and up to date on the left?
I know. I'm working on a website. I don't have my website up yet. I mean, I'm not so focused on that, because I'm really just in the energy of allowing, and like, so much is coming to me that I'm in that sweet spot of manifestation where, like, I'm completely relaxed while I'm trying to keep up with everything that's flowing to me, but I'm relaxed about it. So, I'm just working on my website in a relaxed way. But for now, people can, you know, friend me or send me a private message on Facebook. I think I have my phone number listed in my Facebook. I'm not sure. They can text me. I'm open. I'm here. If they want to talk more about what I do, but it's transformational. It's transcending work, and their lives are changed. Like, I just can't even. It's changed my life. I've done the work for myself, and I'm just like, whoa, like, this needs to be done. Women especially with trauma in their background, need this. This is the final piece. Like, you do counseling, you do all these modalities, these things for yourself, and I work, like you said earlier, I worked on that already. I worked on that. Great. We've all worked on it, but why do I still feel like this? Why am I still in this loop? It's the energy. There are energy blocks trapped in your body, trapped emotions, trapped emotional energy blocks. And once they're removed, which is what I do, it's instant, it's permanent, and you're forever changed.
Yep.
You're free from the loop.
Process those emotions, and then, you know, then you get into like the boundaries and standards you have in your life. I get it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once you clear, then it's like, oh, why have I been doing that? Whereas before you kept trying to change and doing and kept coming back to it. Now it's like, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't know if you have this experience, but I have clients who say, I quit smoking, or I quit my sleeping pills. I was on them for 10 years.
Yeah.
We don't realize how much our mental addiction to the old pattern keep us addicted to bad habits, people, and things.
It's true.
That lets you just become a different choice.
Or to like illness. Like, I had one client real quick who, 14 years ago was raped. And so she spent the first 2 years after that just hiding. She didn't talk to anybody. She held it in. And then anxiety formed, and then a digestive disorder formed. And so for 14 years, she's walked around with this like panic attacks, anxiety. And whenever the anxiety hits, she had this ball like right in her diaphragm area. and it hurt. So she would feel it coming on, and then she would literally like vomit for days, like horrible. So she can't eat, right? We do a session, one session, her first session with me. She said, Jen, it literally felt like you were pulling. I could feel this hard ball. It's been there for 14 years. You literally pulling it out of me. She goes, it's not there. There's space now. I can push all the way in. It's smushy. And you know, she went later that day and she goes, I had a plate of spaghetti and I didn't have to use my pills, and I didn't have to douse it with sugar to, you know, neutralize the acid. And like, she's eating, her life has fucking changed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is real stuff, you guys. Like, what we're doing, it's transformational.
And that's the part that people think, well, I do okay with this. I've tried to change it. It's not gonna, it's like, no, you're going to completely shift the time it takes for you to decide and be who you are, because that big ball isn't in the way. So I think we've made our point.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have any more questions, ask questions on the playback. Tell us you're watching the playback, because a lot of people do catch my feed daily on the playback. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Yeah, Jen, I love you. I'm so glad you're about to
girl.
You're team number 1. You're and I can't wait.
Coming, it's flowing.
Number 3. Today is the day to book in to be number 3, because today's the day. I want to gift you this activation that I did with Terry and Jen.
Yes. Do it. I don't know who you are, but you're out there. You're there. You're already here. You need to just say yes. So message Val and say yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Don't miss out on this. And I just want to say the number 3 is the number for creation. So think about that. Powerful. If you're number 3. Yeah. What you're going to create for yourself.
Number 3 is Jesus.
That's right. All right, my sister, my friend.
All right. I love you. And we'll see
you too, sweetie.
Guys. Oh, your frequency. You're the miracle.
That's right. Peace out.